Yo guys, what is going on? Rudy TCG back at it again with another video. Today we are going to be going over team up format, Zoroark Decidueye Ninetales ZDT, and this is my list that I think will be doing pretty well at the upcoming International Championship and St. Louis Regional Championship. So let's start off with the list. I have one Ditto Prism Star, obviously because we have different evolutions for stage 1s. I play one Yveltal GX to help with any tag team matchups because the Doom Count attack can take a knockout on anything active with 4 damage counters on it. 3/3 Zoroark, pretty traditional for this kind of deck, but for other Zoroark decks that would seem a little low. Alolan Vulpix to Ninetales, we have a 3/2 line to grab the rare candies and any other items that we need. So that allows us to play one of items like Counter Catcher, Max Potion, Timer Ball, Switch, and Counter Game. We got the one of Larvitar. This is to mainly deal with Zoroark and Pikachu matchups because Second Strike can do 80 damage if they have 3 or more damage counters on it. Then you touch a Choice Band, does 110 times 2, 220 plus the 3 damage counters will knock out those Pokemon. So then we have the 303 line of Decidueye, 2 Tapu Lele, 2 Pokemon Communication. It's just a really good card in this deck because you can take one of the evolutions that you don't need or one of the tech Pokemon that you don't need and just shuffle them back into the deck. Got 3 Rare Candy, 1 Rescue Stretcher, 1 Timer Ball. That's pretty good. You might want to see 2. I don't know. I'm experimenting with Pokemon Communication, so I took the second one out for now. 4 Ultra Ball, 2 Devoured Field, 1 Acerola. 1 Acerola, 1 Max Potion is really good. 3 Cynthia, 3 Guzma, 4 Elm, 2 Choice Band, 4 DCE, 1 Rainbow Energy, and 3 Unit Energy so that you can attack with both Ninetales and Yveltal GX. So we're going to be playing against my friend Frank, who is going to send me a challenge right now. Yep, here it is. So I'm going to pick ZDT, and we are going to play. I'm pretty sure he's actually playing Pikachu right now, so we're going to test these new format cards to see how this matchup goes. Opponent loading up the game, calling the coin flip, and I lost, so he'll be going first. That is fine with me. And we'll have a Larvitar start here. That's not particularly good because we want to save this card for a knockout later on, but we do play the one of Rescue Stretcher. Yep, Pikachu as I expected. It's going to start out with a Nest Ball. Benching the Lele in this matchup is not the best idea because Pikachu can take up to 4 prizes in a single turn with its GX attack if it gets 6 damage counters on it, so I'm going to try and stay away from benching Lele here. He's going to grab a Zeraora off of the Nest Ball. Hopefully he won't be able to get the turn 2, attack off here. He's never played this deck before either, so he's going to attach a Choice Band to the active, Energy to the Pikachu, and most likely he's either going to play a Draw Supporter or we're going to see a pass here from him. And he's going to pass. So luckily we top deck a Vulpix. Gonna play this Elm here. Grabbing Zoroark. Oh, almost did. Okay, alright. Zoroark, Rowlet. I'm good with just grabbing these 3 here. Going to bench the 3. Might as well commit the Unit Energy to the Vulpix, and I'll just pass it back to him. And we see a smiley face from our opponent. He must have the turn 2 attack. How much retreat does this Ninetales have again? It has 2 retreat, so we can't promote it safely. Viridian Forest from Frank here, grabbing a electric energy, and he's going to pass, so he did not hit it. In that case, I'm going to evolve into Zoroark GX, trade away an Ultra Ball, drawing into DCE and L. So I think with this Ninetales here, I'm going to pop, search my deck for 2 item cards. I am going to grab Pokecom and Rare Candy. Gonna play the Pokecom, getting rid of Tapu Lele, grabbing Decidueye, going to play the Rare Candy into the Decidueye, going to Feather Arrow the active, commit the DCE to the Zoroark. I might as well play the Elm here just to grab some stuff out of the deck. Grab these 3 so that I can Ultra Ball 2 of them away. That and that. And I will grab the what items would I want here? I might as well grab another Zoroark GX. Now I do have 2 Zorua down already, so I will just trade away my last Zorua, drawing into these. So I think that's all we're going to do on this turn. I'm just going to pass it back to Frank. He's most likely going to be getting off a full blitz this turn, which is okay. Oh, and he is retreating, most likely going to go for the Guzma play on something that he can take a knockout on if he has an Electro Power in hand. Guzma, most likely the Zoroark with the DCE. Electro Power. And full blitz to knock out. Now hopefully we can hit all the cards to pull off this Larvitar play here. I'm going to promote it. I do have the DCE in hand, so hopefully we can pull it off. Unfortunately, we'll be having to bench a Lele here, which is a huge liability, but we'll see what happens. Going to opt to grab Cynthia here, playing the Cynthia, hoping for the Choice Band, which does fall. Going to take away his access to Viridian Forest, trade away Ninetales GX, Feather Arrowing the active, And going in with the second strike for a knockout. 3 prize cards off of that exchange. The Zoroark, I believe, is also weak to Larvitar, so that is something to keep in mind for the upcoming turn. Did I discard my switch already? I did not. So we're going to see an Acrobike here, discarding a Lele, so he probably did draw into a draw supporter. Thunder Mountain comes into play, and we're going to see a Cynthia here from Frank. Benching the Zapdos, which he will most likely want to take the knockout here with. Plasma Fist for the knockout, so he must have with the energy. $190 HP. I will not be able to take a knockout on the active this turn, I don't think. Unless we get really lucky with the draws. He does have 3 prize cards remaining, so I'm going to opt to bench another Rowlet, Feather Arrow his active. How many DCE am I down at this point? 2. So I can commit a DCE to the active. Do I feel comfortable benching? Not at this time. So I'm going to trade, discarding the Alolan Vulpix. I apologize for all the background noise here. There are head-on prizes, so that is not useful. And I will just opt to hit him with Riotous Beating for 100. We're not going to see anything from Frank just yet. He might be thinking about what his next play will be. He does have the Thunder Mountain in play, so he actually could have knocked me out last turn with the Pikachu, with the Zapdos, because his attack would have been free. You can see the Wonder Tag here. Grabbing a Guzma, so he might be looking to take down the Rowlet. Energy comes down onto Pikachu and Zekrom. GX brings up the Zapdos Guzma onto the Tapu Lele. This is a pretty good sign for us because we can most likely take the remaining 3 prize cards with our Larvitar. So first I will Rare Candy into Decidueye, Rescue Stretcher, putting the Larvitar back into my hand, Benching the Larvitar, attaching the Choice Band. I'm going to attach the Counter Gain to the benched Counter Catcher up the Pikachu and Zekrom, Tapu Lele to try and hit this final DCE. I probably should have actually attached the Counter Gain to the Larvitar. Oh wait, but that wouldn't get me the knockout. Okay, so we're going to have to hit this DCE off of the Cynthia here. We do have one trade after all, so it should be manageable. So I'm going to start out by thinning the deck. Is the DCE even in here? I did not check earlier, and it is not, so it's looking like we lost this one. Unfortunately, probably should have played differently knowing that the DCE is prized. But maybe he will not be able to get the knockout here, and we will have another chance even with all these misplays. So we will just go with, I guess I'll Feather Arrow the active to soften it up a bit. Use our trade, getting rid of a Guzma. And we get the well played here from Frank. Looks like he does indeed have game. And we'll see what happens. So 170 on his active. Does he have game? He needs Choice Band, Electro Power. He's probably going to hit it up with this Faulkner. And he does. So I did make a careless mistake during that game. But we will be going into game 2 after this. Pretty close one. But yeah, we'll see what happens going into the second game. So if he could queue up with Pikachu once again, that would be great. I'll be going first in this second game, as he already knows. And I won the coin flip anyway, so it didn't matter. I'll go first. With the Vulpix start. Alright, so we will see how it goes. Pikachu start for my opponent. I'm going to start out with an Elm. Grabbing this, and this. Going to then Ultra Ball. Actually, I think I'll opt to save the Ultra Ball. No, I won't. I will drop the Ultra Ball and the Max Potion. Grabbing a Zorua for next turn. Benching the Zorua and passing. We see a Fortnite coming from our opponent here, which is a bad game. I do apologize once again for the background noise. It is unavoidable, unfortunately. Fortnite noise. grabbing the Zoroark off of the Ultra Ball. We are probably going to see him bench it here and play a Volkner. We're going to see the Zapdos hit the board here, attachment to the active and a pass. So, luckily we top decked the Cynthia there. Going to evolve this, and play the Cynthia. Getting a lot of good cards here. So we're going to trade number 1, discarding Elm. Playing the Ninetales down on Ditto to grab 2 items, one being Rare Candy, and the other being Communication. Playing the Rare Candy onto the Rowlet. Don't forget, guys, Ninetales is Fairy Tale. That doesn't really have to do with anything, but okay. Don't see a reason to bench another Ninetales here, so I'm going to Communication away the Ninetales, or full pick, sorry, for another Zoroark. Going to Feather Arrow, the active, twice. Don't feel a need to commit the Choice Band just yet, so I will Beacon, grabbing the Larvitar and the Alolan Ninetales. We will most likely see a knockout here in the next turn. If he hits a Thunder Mountain energy or just the regular energy, he will retreat and hit me with the Zapdos. So he did take away the Ninetales option for me, but it doesn't really matter. I'm going to trade number 1, discarding the Alolan Ninetales. Trade number 2, discarding the Zoroark. Hopefully hitting nothing we need. Okay, so 70. That will be enough damage to knock out the Zapdos. By attaching the DCE to the Ninetales. We're going to Snowy Wind, and I guess I will hit the Zeraora for the 30 damage, just in case something happens and a Decidueye gets knocked out. Pulling Kuzma off of the prizes here. We'll see what our opponent can come up with in this game. We'll see an energy attachment here. If he can hit the Thunder Mountain off of this Lele, most likely grabbing a Lycia, and he plays his Stadium for turn. So he will not be able to pick up a knockout this turn, meaning that I will be able to take the knockout with Larvitar. He's going to Erica for 5. Ultra Ball, getting rid of 2 cards from his hand and searching for a Pokemon. He will drop the Absol here, which is completely fine. Tapu Koko Prism Star comes into hand, and if he has a Zapdos, he will be able to attack, or if he has a Switch, he will be able to attack. So we're going to see the Dance of the Ancients come down, so he will not be able to attack unless he has a Switch on this turn. And he does hit us with the pass, so we are just going to take the knockout here with Larvitar, DCE, Choice Band, Guzma the Pikarom, Feather Arrow, the Zero. Oh, accidentally clicked on the Lost Zone. Feather the Zeraora once, twice, and we will take the knockout. Oh, forgot to trade there for a second. Getting rid of Decidueye. Getting rid of the Elm. And that's going to do it. We're going to take the knockout here with Second Strike. Grabbing 3 prize cards here, meaning all we have to do is knock out the Zeraora for game. There's not much our opponent can do about this. He is forced to knock out the Larvitar here, and if he does not knock it out, then that is an opening for us to win the game straight up. And even if he does knock it out, we do have Zoroark GX and a Choice Band. And we see the concession here, so game 3 will be coming up. He will most likely be going first. Awaiting the challenge here from Frank, and he sent it. So, gonna go in for the last and final game of this video. Game 3 of the set. They call tails, even though it doesn't matter. And then we'll go first. Alright, this hand is pretty bad, so I would just start the Vulpix and bench nothing else. Hopefully we can top deck out of it, but we will see. If not, I will have to bench the Yveltal and Beacon, which is not ideal in the slightest. We'll be grabbing Zapdos there, benching it, attaching to the active Cynthia, so he has a pretty explosive turn 1. Not really sure how easily we are going to be able to combat this, especially with the hand that we were given. Hopefully a supporter will come, and we top deck an Elm somehow. Alright, Going to grab 2, and the Ditto is prized, so I am okay with that happening. We get some taunting from our opponent. Benching. I'll bench the Evil because most likely we are going to be using GX attack this game. I will grab a Decidueye, and since we do not have a follow-up, a Tapu Lele. Hopefully he will actually knock out the Vulpix here, so that we can take the knockout with Doom Count GX. With a Thunder Mountain, he should have the knockout. Erica's 4-5. Hopefully off of the Cynthia, a plus trade. And he doesn't hit it, so we do have the switch, which is very fortunate. And most likely just going to take this game as long as we can hit the cards that we need. All we need is a rare candy along with a Decidueye here. So we will search, grab a Cynthia, and hope to hit either a Ninetales or a... I am going to commit the Stadium here just so that we have more cards that we can hit that will help us. So we didn't hit all the... We did actually hit everything we needed, so that is perfect. Going to grab the Ninetales GX to get the rare candy out of the deck. Evolving, searching the deck for 2 item cards, which will be rare candy, and Ultra Ball. I guess I'll get rid of the Timer Ball with the trade here. So, rare candy, the Rowlet, trade away the Timer Ball, double Feather Arrow, the active, and then Doom Count GX. $240 damage, and 3 prize cards taken. Next turn, if he does not hit the knockout, then we will be able to Acerola, but we won't be able to hit into anything unless we get a DCE. But Frank is left with not many options here. We could also attach a DCE to the active and hit his Zapdos for enough plus a Feather Arrow. That would be ideal if we did hit. Okay, so he's going to Guzma something up, and in that case, I will most likely end up Acerola-ing unless... Alright, so I'm going to drop the Zorua because that seems to be the least needed card here. a Guzma. I'm gonna take, oh, that almost was bad, okay. I'm gonna take out the Absol here, not hitting it for the knockout, but putting it in double feather arrow range for next turn. Is there anything else that would be good? I think committing the Rainbow Energy to the Ninetales would be a good play. And Absorb Vitality for 20 damage. 30 because of Devoured Field. That could combo nicely with Alolan Ninetales, and we could potentially take a double knockout next turn with 2 Feather Arrows on the active and win the game. That would require an energy hit and a promotion of Zapdos from his end. So we are going to see the promotion of Zapdos. And we do actually indeed have the energy by Aceroling the Yveltal, unless he does Electro Power Choice Band to knock out our active, which is highly unlikely because he hasn't done much this game, but you never know. So yep, we got this game. Good game to Frank, but we were able to pick up the win. Attach to the active. Why didn't that KO? Oh, he didn't know that Zapdos doesn't hit for weakness. Let me let him know that real quick. Zapdos does not hit for weakness. Okay, yeah, we figured it out. Double Feather Arrow the active, and Snowy Wind for game. Good game to my opponent, and hopefully you guys did enjoy this video and learn something about the format, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.